Hello and welcome to a dramatic reading of How to Be a Girly Girl in Just 10 Days by Lisa Papademetriou. Chapter 1, Part 1. Day 1, Thursday. Horoscope, Aries, March 20th to April 21st. That cutie you're crushing on will be giving mixed signals, but don't give up. It won't take long before you find he's just so into you. Here's the thing. Gingham check is a complete cliché, Lindsay said as she reached over to swipe a couple of French fries from my plate. She ignored me completely as I gave her hand a playful swat, dipping the stolen goods into my pool of ketchup. I mean, why shouldn't Dorothy wear a red dress, you know? It would go much better with the ruby slippers. I think the idea is that she grew up on a farm in Kansas, I ventured. Well, right. Okay, so she could be wearing a potato sack, Lindsay went on, or a flowered dress. She grabbed another fry, and I let her get away with it. Or anything but that stupid blue and white check. It's been done to death. She stabbed the air with the fry to make her point. Are you sure you want to mess with a classic? I asked. Don't even get me started, Lindsay replied. You should see what I've got in mind for the flying monkeys. I can't wait. This was the truth. Lindsay Sweet is my best friend and has been since before we were born. No, I'm not kidding. Our moms met in Lama's class, and when they realized that their due dates were a week apart, they decided that we were destined to be best friends forever. Which has turned out to be true so far, even though Lindsay and I are about as different as two people can get. For example, Lindsay was wearing red and black straight tights under a pair of cut-off jeans, a black long-sleeved t-shirt under a red short-sleeved concert t-shirt for some band that I never heard of, and black Converse low-top sneakers. She had twirled her long curly red hair into a donut on each side of her head, Princess Leia style, and she had on bright red lipstick, the only makeup she ever wears. I, on the other hand, had on a blue t-shirt and jeans. My hair is brown and cut short around my face. The last time my mom went to see her hairdresser, Jacques, she insisted that I come along to do something with my hair. Jacques told me that he was going to make me look like Audrey Hepburn in Roman Holiday, and since I had no idea what that meant, I got intimidated and said, okay. So then he chopped off all of my hair, and now half the time people mistake me for a boy, which isn't helped by the fact that everyone calls me Nick instead of my real name, which is Nicolette. When she saw what had happened to my head, Lindsay threw me a little goodbye hair party. It involved a sympathy card and an ice cream cake. Anyway, so Lindsay is really into drama stuff, and she just signed up to do the costumes and makeup for the school's production of The Wizard of Oz. People are going to run screaming from the theater at the sight of my flying monkeys, Lindsay said now, reaching for my fruit punch. She had her own food, by the way. She just always seemed to prefer mine. I grabbed her chocolate chip cookie in retaliation and broke off half. Sounds like a good time, I told her. That's showbiz. Her hazel eyes twinkled as she smiled around the straw. So, how often do you have to be at rehearsal? I asked. I'll be there, no worry, she said, reading my mind. Nobody in the cast and crew wants to miss the big game. We'll all be there next Thursday, so you'd better make it worth our while. Our basketball team was having an amazing season so far, but our last game was coming up in a week, and it was against Westlake Middle School, who put a major hurt on us last year. There must be something in the water over in Westlake, because those girls are gigantic. Coach Chin is always telling us to work our low centers of gravity, which basically means steal the ball as much as you can. But it isn't easy when you're going up against people who can cross the entire floor in 3 easy steps. We'll do our best, I said with a sigh. I don't care about that, she teased. Just win. She took another sip from my punch, producing a hollow slurping sound. You drank the whole thing, I cried. Sorry, Lindsay winced sheepishly. I'll get you another. I rolled my eyes. I'll do it, I said, swiping the cup. You'd probably drink the whole thing on the way back to the table. Good point, she admitted as she popped a piece of her cookie into her mouth and munched it cheerfully. I climbed out of my orange plastic seat and crossed to the front of the cafeteria. Lindsay and I always sit in the same spot, far right at the back, as far away from the garbage cans as you can get. Digging some money out of my pocket, I paid for a refill at the register, then headed over to the drink dispenser and pressed my cup against the metal lip. The machine clanged and ground, then spat ice into my cup. I put the cup under the punch and let the purple liquid fizz down in a stream. I waited for the bubbles to die back, then filled it up to the absolute top. I was just fitting the lid over the cup when I turned and ran into someone's green shirt. Half of the fruit punch soaked him, half splattered the front of my t-shirt. Oh my gosh, I cried. Oh, I am so sorry. Reaching behind me, I grabbed a wad of napkins and pressed them against my victim's shirt. That's okay, he said, but just as I pulled away the napkins, I realized that someone had left an open packet of mustard sitting on them. Bright yellow mustard that was now ground into his shirt. I felt my face burning. Oh, geez, I can't believe this. You can't? He had every right to be mad, but when I looked up into his brown eyes, I could see that he was about to laugh. I could also see that he was, well, really cute. My heart started beating double time, and my head felt light. Let me get you some more napkins. For some reason, my throat had gone dry. No thanks, the cute boy said, a smile twitching at the edge of his mouth. I just want you to know that I'm usually very coordinated, I told him, instantly feeling like an idiot. Stop talking, I told myself. I'm on the basketball team. I went on, instantly disobeying my own orders. He grinned. I would have guessed you were on the national food fight team. Okay, he's joking. So at least he doesn't want to kill me. I used to be, but I got cut. Too many fouls? Cute boy guessed. I nodded. You got it. Laughing, he looked down at his shirt. This isn't so bad, really. I can take care of it in the bathroom. Really? Don't sweat it, he said, and I could have hugged him. Not that I'd ever do anything like that, of course. I was still smiling when I got back to our table. Lindsay gave me a look as I sat down. Ooh, she said playfully. I saw that move. Pretty smooth, Nicolette Spicer. I felt myself blushing again. He was cool about it. I don't know that I've ever seen you smiling so hard before. I wasn't smiling, I insisted, a little too loudly. Some of the girls at the next table looked over. Andrea Fleming twirled a blonde curl around her finger and whispered something to Yolanda Stewart, who giggled. Those two were always whispering about who knows what, but I dropped my voice anyway. I was just talking. Oh, okay, Lindsay shrugged, playing with a curl that had escaped her donut dew. Then I guess you don't want to know who he is. Why, do you know him? She cackled at the eagerness in my voice. Look who isn't smiling, Lindsay crowed. I sighed, leaning back in my chair. Okay, here is the deal. Lindsay is the one with all the crushes. She changes interest in guys like she changes hairstyles. Often. and she's always after me because I'm never crushing on anyone. So now, here I was, just having a conversation with someone who happened to be very cute, and she was positively gleeful. Okay, since you're begging me, I'll tell you what I know, Lindsay said. First, his name is Ben Reynolds. How do you know him? Lindsay always seems to know everyone. He's on the tech crew for the play. I've talked to him a couple of times. He's great. Just started school in the fall. And he's got a great sense of humor. Anything else? And he doesn't have a girlfriend. My jaw dropped. He told you that? Not exactly, she admitted. It's just a vibe. But don't worry, I'll get the whole scoop, since you're so interested. She waggled her eyebrows. No, don't, I begged. Don't worry, I'll be subtle, Lindsay promised. It was no use anyway. Once Lindsay made up her mind to do something, there was no talking her out of it. I decided to change the subject. Hey, I haven't heard you talk about anyone lately. One shoulder went up, then dropped. Isn't there anyone on your guidar? Lindsay looked down at the gray-green broccoli on her plate and gave it a tentative poke with her fork. Not really, she hedged. Well, maybe one guy, but he doesn't like me in that way, so... What do you mean? I asked. Who is it? Lindsay sighed. I don't really want to talk about it. I decided to leave it at that. Lindsay can never keep a secret long. I knew she'd tell me who she had her eye on eventually. I just hoped that she could keep my guy secret, for a little while at least. All right, I'm going to leave you with a cliffhanger. Ha ha ha. Stay tuned for part 2.